What's up, everybody? Zen here. Today we are going to talk mango and avocado seed germination. Uh, these are the mangoes that I get from Costco. They are called honey mangoes, also known as champagne mangoes. The real name is Ataulfo mango. These happen to be my favorite commercial variety of mangoes. They're smaller, they're yellow. I like the size, I like the flavor. I'm not too keen on the normal Tommy Atkins, the big red ones that you see in the store, but I like champagne mangoes. Another good thing about champagne mangoes is when you grow them from seed, they are often monoembryonic. That means they'll put out more than one tree. We have a seed here. You could see this seedling shooting out, but you could see another one coming up. See if I tilt this. Okay. And I don't know. I think the consensus is the first shoot that comes out is a genetic clone of the parent. And so that is the strongest one. And so that's the one you generally want to keep. But then I've read elsewhere that the weakest one is the actual genetic clone, and the strongest one has been crossbred from the parent plant and another pollinator. But generally speaking, I'm just going to keep the strongest one anyway. So I'll probably clip this. I'll separate the embryos. They're called embryos. You can actually detach them from the seed. But this is how I grow them out. I basically take a soda bottle, cut it, invert it. I have old rapid rooter plugs that have dried out. I chop them up to form bedding. And also, you want to make sure that you have it all the way so that it reaches the water or liquid so that it will wick effectively. So basically, keeps it moist. And then all you have to do is drop a seed on top of it. Let me show you how I actually deal with the seeds. I pretty much try to take off all the pulp that I can, and I like to soak them in water for about a week. I take up as much pulp as I can so it doesn't start rotting on me and giving off a foul smell. After about a week, your seed will swell. Okay? The seed inside will swell, and it makes it easier to open. Also, when it swells, you can get a definition of the shape of the seed. You'll know where the seed ends and where there's just bare shell. And that way, you can just chop off the ends like this. Okay? And you notice I didn't harm the seed inside. And then what I also like to do is I like to take a knife and I just run it along the edge here and slice into it. And that way I can just pry this sucker open, which I'm going to have to do when I put my camera down. Let me show you in a sec. So here we have the seed. I pried the shell open, and the seed has swelled. This is a nice size seed. This is a nice, healthy seed. Another good reason to soak the seeds is to make sure that you have a good, viable seed. If it swells up to a decent size, you know you'll have a healthy growing specimen. Some of them don't even really swell up, and if you open it up and it's still a fairly small seed, well, go ahead and toss it. Keep a nice, healthy, viable one that is swelled. Another good benefit of soaking the seeds is this inner membrane easily peels off, which is essential. Notice, see that? See how it just lifts off? It'll just lift off, and then you can scrape the rest, take a knife and get the ones that really clean, and just scrape it off. It's pretty essential to get this membrane off. I found that if you leave the membrane on while the seed is germinating, the parts that have the membrane on will catch mold, and you'll see mold growing. This one has had part of the membrane left off that I didn't peel off, and it's had a bit of mold, but I've been keeping it fairly dry. The seed doesn't have to remain soaked. It just needs to be have some kind of contact with the wet medium underneath. And as you can see, this one's already starting to form a root right now. See the root growing? You can't see anything here yet, but eventually your seedlings will emerge. And here we have an avocado. The avocado, I don't even have to use any of the wrapper rooter plugs. You just drop that avocado in there. As long as, you know, the seed has contact with water, it'll be fine. It just barely has to have contact with water, and that's all it needs. You don't have to completely soak it. You don't have to dunk it. And there's your seedlings. So my problem was, after I would transfer these to soil, they would sicken and die. I've been trying to grow mango seedlings since last year. I've probably tried about 20 of these, and I've never gotten them past this stage. So that's an issue. I've also been trying to germinate them directly in soil. Okay, that's a nice healthy seed. This is the way I like to place them, because the mango seed, there's a curved edge that curves inward. This is the side that you want to dunk down into the soil, because the seedlings emerge from, I have to get myself a tripod or something. They'll either emerge from this point or this point. It looks like this is where the root's going to emerge from. So if I were to put this in soil, which I probably might give it a shot, I want to orient it this way down into the soil. I've never been able to successfully germinate one directly in soil. They seem to rot, and nothing ever emerges, but I'll give it a shot with those. This one, I'll peel the membrane off, and then I'll just dunk it. Oh, another thing I like to do is, after I peel the membrane off, I usually take the seed and I soak it in 3% hydrogen peroxide and water solution, just to help in the germination process and to get rid of any mold or fungus that might be there. Now let's take a look at my outdoor seedlings. Here we got Hass avocado seedlings, grown from seed using the plastic bottle method, and then transferred to soil. I've never been able to get avocados to last this long either, but these are two healthy specimens. So, I've got some Hass avocado seedlings here. Now check out my mangoes. I remember I told you guys that I've never gotten them past basically this stage. I transfer them to soil, and then they sicken and die. But not these two. These are nice, healthy Ataulfo mango seedlings. Okay, these are the two oldest ones I have. Here's a seed that I tried to grow in a pot. Nothing ever emerged, but it has not rotted. Usually the seeds rot and you just pull on them and they just come up because the roots have rotted away. This one I pulled on and it is firmly rooted in there. There's a nice big thick root extending down. So I'm waiting. I don't know why this hasn't popped up a seedling the way these two, because this is the first one that I planted. This is the first one I put out here, and then these two came along. So this one definitely should already have some stems. I'm just going to leave it in there for another week or two. Nothing comes up, I'll just shove another seed in here. This one, I'm going to wait till its leaves completely unfurl, and then I will transfer it to a pot. So, it's taken a year. I tried growing them last summer, last spring, couldn't get any to survive. This year, they're all surviving. I'm gonna have myself like a little mango grove before long. Anyways, this is Zen. Just want to show you guys how I germinate my Ataulfo champagne mangoes. Have a good day.